Why are their castles built 800 years ago still standing, while modern buildings require constant structural repair? Stand in front of a medieval castle and you feel it immediately. The weight, the silence, the sense that the structure does not care about time. Rain falls against its walls. Wind moves around its towers. Centuries pass, and it remains. No hairline cracks creeping across facades. No sagging beams. No sudden structural failures requiring emergency scaffolding. Now compare that to a modern building. Concrete reinforced with steel. Engineered calculations. Load simulations. Inspections every few years. Expansion joints. Repair cycles. Maintenance budgets. Why does a castle built in the 1200s still stand, while modern buildings often struggle to last a century? The answer begins with intention. Medieval castles were not designed for efficiency. They were designed for survival. Survival against weather. Survival against siege. Survival against time itself. When failure means invasion, collapse is not an option. Modern buildings are optimized differently. They are calculated precisely, engineered to meet minimum required load standards, efficient use of material, cost per square foot, return on investment. They are safe, yes, but they are not overbuilt. Castles were. The first secret is mass. Medieval walls were not inches thick. They were feet thick, sometimes 20 feet at the base. That thickness did more than stop arrows or cannon fire. It distributed structural stress across enormous volumes of stone. Loads were not concentrated into narrow columns. They were absorbed into massive walls. Modern construction relies on skeletal frames, steel beams, reinforced concrete columns. The load is concentrated along calculated paths. It is efficient, but efficiency reduces redundancy. If a key structural component fails, the system is vulnerable. Castles used gravity as an ally. Their walls tapered inward as they rose. This design reduced weight at higher elevations while maintaining a wide, stable base. The lower sections carried the most mass. The structure pressed downward and inward on itself, increasing stability. The stones themselves were another secret. Medieval builders selected stone based on compressive strength, limestone, granite, sandstone, depending on region. They understood through experience which materials resisted weathering. They worked with stone that aged slowly. Modern concrete is strong, but it relies on steel reinforcement to resist tension. Over time, moisture infiltrates concrete. Steel corrodes. Expansion from rust creates internal pressure. Cracks form. Structural integrity weakens. Stone does not rust. Stone weathers, but it does not experience internal chemical expansion from corroding reinforcement. Many castle walls are solid masonry, relying on compression rather than tension resistance. Compression is stable. Stone is extraordinarily strong under compression. Medieval builders shaped arches and vaults to exploit that strength. The arch is not decorative. It is structural genius. Instead of spanning openings with horizontal beams that bend under weight, arches redirect force downward into the sides. Every stone in an arch presses against its neighbor. Remove the keystone and it collapses. Leave it intact and gravity locks it together. Modern flat beams must resist bending forces. Arches convert those forces into compression. The vault extended this principle in 3 dimensions. Cathedral ceilings and castle halls used ribbed vaults to distribute loads across multiple supports. Weight moved along predictable paths into thick walls and buttresses. Buttresses were external supports that counteracted outward thrust from arches and vaults. Instead of hiding structural reinforcement inside walls, medieval builders expressed it outside. They made the solution visible. Modern buildings hide structure within drywall and cladding. Failure can remain invisible until advanced. Another overlooked factor is settlement. Buildings sink over time. Soil shifts. Foundations settle unevenly. Modern structures rely on reinforced concrete slabs and footings calculated precisely. When settlement exceeds prediction, cracks form. Castle foundations were massive. Trenches dug deep. Rubble stone packed tightly. Foundations wider than walls above. This distributed weight over larger surface areas, reducing pressure per square foot. Again, overbuilding created margin. Castles also embraced flexibility where necessary. Timber floors and internal framing allowed minor movement without catastrophic failure. The outer stone shell remained rigid, but internal components could adjust. Modern buildings often rely on rigid systems throughout. When stress exceeds tolerance, cracks appear rapidly. Weather resistance mattered to castle walls were thick enough that temperature fluctuations penetrated slowly. Freeze-thaw cycles occurred near surfaces, but did not reach structural cores quickly. Water infiltration was minimized through angled surfaces and strategic drainage. Modern thin walls, even with insulation, allow quicker temperature shifts within structural layers. Castles were built for centuries because they assumed centuries. Modern buildings are designed for projected service lives. 50 years, 75 maintenance schedules built into financial models. When a castle was commissioned, it was a statement of permanence. It symbolized power intended to endure. The psychological component cannot be ignored. Builders took pride in craftsmanship that would outlive them. Stonemasons carved blocks by hand. Mortar was mixed carefully. Time was part of the process. Today, speed dominates. Construction timelines are compressed. Materials are delivered just in time. Labor is segmented. This is not a condemnation of modern engineering. It is a recognition of different incentives. Castles were not cheap. They required enormous resources. Laborers worked for years, sometimes decades. Kings invested in fortifications because failure meant defeat. Modern buildings compete in markets. Profit margins shape decisions. Materials are chosen for cost efficiency, balanced against safety standards. Yet the physics remain unchanged. Gravity still pulls downward. Wind still exerts lateral pressure. Water still infiltrates cracks. Temperature still expands and contracts materials. Castles respected these forces by overwhelming them with mass and compression. Modern buildings manage them through calculation and material science. Both approaches work, but one prioritizes endurance beyond human lifespans. Stand inside a medieval great hall and look up. The ceiling curves overhead in stone ribs that have not shifted for centuries. The walls feel immovable. You sense continuity. The building does not feel temporary. Imagine designing structures today with a 500-year lifespan in mind. Imagine calculating cost over centuries instead of decades. The upfront expense would be enormous. The return invisible in our lifetime. Perhaps that is why we rarely build like that anymore. Castles rarely collapsed because they were not allowed to. They were expressions of power, built with redundancy, thickness, compression, and patience. They were not perfect, Some fell to siege, some decayed when abandoned, but structurally, many remain astonishingly intact. The lesson is not that we should build castles again. The lesson is that durability requires intention. If this changes how you see buildings around you, subscribe. Leave a comment about the oldest structure you have visited. Ask yourself whether we design for permanence or for replacement, because gravity has not changed. Only our time horizon has.